So this goofy ass hearing happened earlier this week, and I listened to a little bit of it, but frankly, I didn't find it all that entertaining or really meaningful, to be completely honest, because, oh, okay, cool. The government has interest in TikTok. Great, wonderful, fantastic. Okay, what's your guys' standpoint when it comes to either side of the aisle, right? What do the Democrats want out of TikTok? More censorship. What do the Republicans want? Well, they just want a grandstand on my kids. So won't somebody please think of the children? If you actually cared about the content that's on TikTok, you would be doing more to censor what is actually on TikTok and the type of content that's on there. I'm not advocating for any of that. Frankly, me specifically, I think TikTok and shorts and all that stuff is total cancer. The one short that I put up, and I kind of want to continue that character, but I need to find the appropriate time. Maybe when we're going to be comparing and contrasting from the alternate side of the coin, DeSantis and Trump, that could be kind of funny to take that character and then just, regurgitate all of the brain dead, middle of the road talking points when it comes to being your average workaday DeSantis supporter. But we'll save that for a later date, because realistically, man, and I've broken this down the last time that we talked about TikTok, if the government cared about the short form content, programming and indoctrinating the child mind, they would do something about Instagram Reels, or YouTube Shorts, and is it still Facebook Reels? I don't know. Do any boomers watch Shorts? I don't know. Who cares? But if they cared about that style of content, they would be asking everybody else. But if you also follow the money, well, you'd also realize where they're going specifically after TikTok to ban that. So instead of rehashing that entire stupid, unnecessary dunk fest, because everybody had their pre-programmed and pre-planned out, questions, your platform should be banned. Won't somebody please think of the children? It's like, whatever, man. What is this ultimately going to end up doing? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Because the Democrats, well, we kind of know at least from one, right? Because Adam Schiff, earlier this year, right, January 26th, he decided to get on TikTok because, I got kicked off the House Intelligence Committee, so I'm going to go on a Chinese platform looking like the Crypt Keeper with, a hairline that starts behind my ears, and I'm going to speak to the kids. Bruh, if it wasn't for the Democrat attached to the end of your name and the fact that you are in a securely blue district in Northern California, or I'm sorry, no, he's in Los Angeles, right? Yeah, so SoCal. If he wasn't in SoCal, nobody would give a shit. He would never be popular at all whatsoever. He would have been out of there, and more than likely probably on the board of, one of these big social media platforms that are in the back pocket of the Democrats, if we're being completely honest. So yeah, Schiff's on TikTok. I don't know what else he's posting on his account, nor do I really care, because it's just him belly aching in short form content. Great. It's like getting a side of AIDS with your cancer. And speaking of which, never has there been a more fitting combination than gum and peanuts. AOC now on TikTok. I couldn't think of something. Okay, like normally whenever you're talking about self-deletion or something like that, the kind and appropriate thing, I guess, is to put the contact information for the self-deletion hotline or for the website as well. But this is the opposite of that. This is the self-oof helpline that Hillary Clinton would be more likely to call. Like, okay, AOC's first TikTok video argues against banning controversial app. Yeah, of course, because she really is. Okay, I'm going to give AOC a little bit of credit here to begin with, and this has nothing to do with her tits, okay, even though they're the only positive attribute, except for this one other thing. She really knows how to market herself. Like, if there are any other aspiring politicians that are out there, the AOC blueprint is the blueprint of the future. These old neocons, they're eventually going to die out, because eventually their tactics are just going to fail. All of the big talking heads and all of the think tank money will eventually dry up. And the only thing that's going to be left is aspiring politicians getting across their campaign talking points while doing the fucking default dance. Like, that's what you're going to end up getting. Like, AOC is the most unremarkable. If you take a look at her voting record, like, the bitch does absolutely nothing in Congress. But here's the thing. You know who AOC is, and the fact that she can be associated with three letters like Cher or Bono, HIV, like, it's pretty significant. And that's all due to the fact that she lives on Instagram, that every waking moment of her political career is designed for that short form content to go viral on Twitter, even if it is Ben Shapiro and the other trad cucks at Daily Wire. It's like, okay, I went through on my own personal YouTube channel to just purge a bunch of the different, just kind of worthless content that I used to be subscribed to, wasn't really watching, and I just wanted to hold on to it. For it's like, I've just been subscribed to old O&A clip channels for a long time, but they haven't really put out anything recently because, well, the show's been over since 2014, for Christ's sakes, okay? So it's not like they're putting out anything new, and there was a couple of old gaming like, I used to be subscribed to JonTron, like, I've been there for a long time, but the guy only puts out one video every year or every 6 months. I've been subscribed to him for over a decade. Like, my personal channel, I think, is from like 2006 or 2007. Like, it's been around for a hot second. That was one of the first subscriptions that I had on there. But I also realized that, yeah, if I wanted to check in and see what JonTron's doing, I could just check in July and December, and I'd pretty much be good and pretty much be able to catch everything. But even still, man. So cleaning out all of the subscriptions, which YouTube uses, which they also use your data that's inside, so they can kind of figure out what you're watching, what you're searching for, and then they can give you on your home screen, they can just give you a bunch of different content that's on there, which is likely how you ended up finding my channel, what you're watching that's on there. And while I keep my history and my search history just squeaky clean, every couple of weeks I just purge everything. So because I think I've curated it down to about 10 different subscriptions that are on my personal channel. Like, I just use this channel. This channel's for work. I produce content on it, and then if I want to watch anything on YouTube, it's over on my personal channel. So even still, now I just take a look at what's on the home screen, and it's just a bunch of fucking worthless clips. Like, YouTube's becoming a desolate place, and Rumble's definitely going to be the future. But that's another topic for another time, because we have AOC right here telling us that she wants to have one of the most malicious algorithms. She wants it within the confines of the United States, and you can't do it. She's got the same type of talking points that I think I seen the New York Times put out a headline that's like, there's one problem with banning TikTok within the confines of the United States. It's called, excuse me, the First Amendment. Well, there's also other problems with that as well, but here's the thing, man. If it's a threat to national security, they're gonna find a fucking reason to 25. The CIA's awfully good at doing that type of shit, so they can go ahead and break the neck of TikTok just like that if they're so inclined, which, I don't know. Are they just going to try to bat this around for as long as it takes when it comes to a campaign talking point? Like, I don't know if the Democrats, because yes, you have Adam Schiff, I think he's part of the old money side of that stuff. It's really tough to tell. Like, that guy's definitely a political comedian, and AOC is definitely one of the newer horses in the race. Heavy emphasis on that. This is also one of those scenarios where the Democrats are kind of in the reactionary position because the Republicans have taken such a strong stance against TikTok, because you can even cast your mind back to the previous administration under Donald Trump. He signed an executive order to eventually get rid of TikTok, and the Democrats, rah, 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 orange man bad, just because they dunk on Trump on TikTok, rah, rah, only small dick energy, whatever the fuck they wanted to say over the top of that. But now they're trying to figure out what the fuck to do with some of these other big tech platforms that don't really want to pay the toll to cross the road, as it were, because that's what we talked about the last time we talked about TikTok. But what's AOC discussing here on this one? Okay, it looks like she's got her caption crew. It's like, that shit is hard to do, man. It takes a long time. Like, I don't know if they got auto-generating captions over on TikTok. I'm never gonna use this shit. But even just doing that little short that I did last Sunday, fucking Christ, that shit is time consuming. So, hey, man. One of her simps out there probably was like, whatever you need, queen, if you need me to polish your hooves or fill up your feed bag, whatever you want. But what is she talking about? What is she talking about? Social media loving socialists. That's a tongue twister. Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez argued against banning TikTok Saturday. Well, of course, man, because she'll be on Instagram later this evening cooking or mixing drinks or whatever the fuck she does, using her fiance as a footstool. In her first video on the controversial app, just days after distributing testimony on Capitol Hill, detailed the company's ties to China. We already knew ByteDance is like 60% owned by the CCP, even though that guy I forget what's the CEO's name, Jack Ma or some shit. All right, Zichu, Fucking Gesundheit. I don't know. Okay, he was talking about, no, we don't correct your data at all. We keep it out there. We have never done that before. Even though it's well known that they can collect data from, it's in the user agreement, for fuck's sakes. It can collect data from any device that you log into, and it's like, that's not a unique issue specific to TikTok. Like, you sign those user agreements all the time. You go to a different website and they ask you, hey, do you want to accept all cookies? The most pernicious one that I seen was actually from the outlet, The Guardian, okay, the UK newspaper, magazine, whatever the fuck it is at this point, socialist indoctrination paper. They ask you, and the way that you have to click on it, it's how the fuck do they word it? It's, I'm happy or no. It's weird, man. It's weird. And realistically, they're all collecting your data to sell it so that the advertisers can advertise a bunch of shit that you don't need. And that's why, you know what? Hey, I'm not mad if anybody uses an ad blocker to even just watch my stuff, man. I put one ad at the front, I put one ad at the back, regardless of the length of the content, because frankly, man, I'm just happy anybody clicks on my videos at the end of the day. That's all I care about, man. I got some good guys that are out there, Buddy Ed there, dropping, the support and the super thanks. I'm incredibly appreciative of that. As long as you guys just turn up, man, whenever I post stuff, I'm just always incredibly happy to see anybody gives a fuck what I'm doing over here. So, that's my stance on it. And, maybe I should just take the lead of AOC and speak to the lowest common denominator. Because, well, for my supporters that are out there, I fuck with you guys. Not like that. Pause. I actually think that you guys have a brain between your ears. Her on the other side, she needs to lay it out with just little captions, word by word, unironically, right? Like she does. She's not putting on a little character. Yeah. Sorry, I don't have the hat or anything like that. It's not entirely complete. So, what was she talking about? Enough asides the side. We'll put the asides in the side for a second. Do I believe TikTok should be banned? No! The lefty New York congresswoman says in the clip posted early Saturday. The United States has never before banned a social media company from existence, from operating in our borders, and this is an app that has over 150 million Americans on it. And I just learned about that just earlier this week when he said there was like 150 million Americans on the platform. I didn't know what that meant, so I had somebody translate it for me, and I was like, oh my god, that's so many people. The popular Chinese owned video sharing app has drawn bipartisan concern, and it's for two very different reasons. And again, it's like, Democrats, man, why can't you guys just come to a consensus on this one? There's bipartisan support. They just want more censorship when it comes to it, and the Republicans just stop stealing our information. We good? We good. Anyways, lawmakers said they are worried about American data falling into the hands of the Chinese government. Again, it's like all of that fucking concern about that stupid spy balloon. Oh my god, the Chinese are spying on us by floating a balloon over the top. It's like they got more sophisticated ways of fucking spying. It's like, oh my god, they're collecting all of our data, all of our kids' data on TikTok. Again, man, just take a look at how much ownership they have in Google. Take a look at how much ownership they have in other newspapers. It's like, it's fucking everywhere. Like, the only reason that you're specifically concerned about TikTok is they're, we're into the double digits when it comes to your number one or your donation list. Like, let's just stop all the fucking pretense. This is all it is at the end of the day. The Department of Justice is also currently investigating claims the company has spied on several U.S. tech journalists. Oh my god. Well, who could possibly be spying on a tech journalist? Yo, man, that face you make when you realize that you got the number one poll position in the upcoming race. Still, AOC insisted that Freudian slip there for, definitely. Just for the story alone, I'd fuck the shit out of her. Doesn't really address the core of the issue, and instead shifted the concern to U.S. legislation. Major social media company, it would have to be face down in the pillow though. That's the only way. Back shots, face in the pillow, and just go for the clappers. Major social media companies are allowed to collect troves of deeply personal data about you that you don't know without any real significant regulation whatsoever. Oh my god, somebody else wrote that for me, because there's no fucking way way that she would ever come up with that shit. The United States is one of the only developed nations in the world that has no significant data or privacy protection laws on the books. There's a lot of weasel words on that one, and I couldn't really be asked to figure out what are the other data regulations or whatever she's proposing, and it's not like she's going to get too deep into the weeds when it comes to a fucking TikTok video, for Christ's sakes, but... oh my god, racism! She's doing the unprecedented racism! The Queens Bronx congresswoman also watered down the alleged national security risk and argued that if it were so serious, Congress... oh my god, could you guys... it's like, if it was actually like a big concern and you guys just didn't want to stamp on all of our fun, fucking government would have done something about it. Like, oh my god, why are you guys being so mean? Congress would have received a classified briefing on them. Who knows, man? Maybe CIA is working on some shit. I don't fucking know. Which they have not. It just doesn't feel right to me, and that's what we have now. We got an entire representative government that's just governed by their feelings. I don't know, guys. It like feels like merch. It's just totally. It's just in the stars, and it's just in like whatever the moon waves are telling me. And it's like, just because I'm like a Scorpio and my sun and my moon are like in Virgo and my Gemini is rising, right, and whatever the fuck else she's talking about. She's the same age as I am. Like, outside of the elaborate steps that I take to just ratchet up some personality sometimes, we're the same age. She's in fucking Congress. I think I'm a little bit more of a professional than she is. I know a couple more things than she does. But that just goes to show you, we are in an attention economy. We are in an attention-seeking world. And I gotta give, props where they're due. She is definitely capitalized on that stuff. She has found a way to weasel in and make sure that she has consistent employment because she's in like a plus 30D district, 17th congressional. I think that's what she is, 17th congressional in New York. It's like, it's never going to fucking flip, at least not in our lifetimes. So she's going to be there for as long as she wants, and she got in there by dethroning. Remember, she dethroned like the number 3 ranking House representative for the Democrats. Like, it was no small feat that what she did, and she did that because... and the reason why she's going to be sticking around, she's always going to have party support, the bitch raises money. Because, again, we're in an attention economy, and she can get attention like nobody else. Like, who's the next most popular member of Congress that you can personally think of? Like, I know a few because I cover this stuff on a semi-consistent basis when it comes to politics. AOC... this is a pretty lofty claim, but I don't think I'm wrong. She's probably the most famous politician in the United States. Everybody, both sides of the aisle, knows exactly who she is. Don't know what the fuck she does. Don't know what committee she's on. Couldn't even narrow down what state. They would just go, California? No. With that accent? Not for, oh, okay. New York? Oh, kind of make, she's like vaguely brown, I guess. Is she Puerto Rican? I don't know. But they know who she is. She's got 3 letters. Like, who else is known by their initials? Marjorie Taylor Greene? Don't fucking make me laugh. Legitimately. Only Donald Trump. Only Donald Trump probably has a higher Q rating. Everybody else, they just pale in comparison. Yeah, man, if the Republicans want to copy this blueprint and get themselves somebody else... I don't know, man. There's not too many other platforms that are out there that could possibly be taken over. Like, the long-form comment doesn't quite hit the kids the exact same way. I hear all the time that these conservative girls are looking better. So if we get an OnlyFans member of Congress, that'd be about the only way that I think that the Republicans got a shot on this one. And we all know that the old fucking tradcons just love a good simp story. So who knows, man? It's going to get wild going forward. And I already know that there's, former modeling, and I forget her name, some Hispanic chick from down there at the southwest of Texas, anyways, that got recently elected. She used to model or some shit, I don't know, but she wasn't in Vogue, so is she even really a model at the end of the day? But with all of that said, I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.